All right, Sydney, some really good tennis strokes here. You're really coming along. I thought it might be helpful just to put you up against Roger. He knows a thing about, or two about forehands. You're doing really good. Just a couple of thoughts to try and see how you like it. You can see a lot of good similarities between your stroke and his. You come in here, a lot of little steps, that's great. And you bend the back leg, front foot there, your left foot toe down. Roger does the same thing. A couple little steps, hop in. He loads up the back leg. Front leg is, like I just said, toe down, a little bit wider out there, open stance like that. Perfect. You both have a nice, you see how your arms are out here across this way, so you both have really good shoulder turn, right? But one thing you do is you drop your left arm down to your side. You watch Roger. He keeps that arm, this arm right here, out kind of as long as possible, keeping that shoulder turn. So he gets a little better uncorking of that shoulder turn. And a lot of the pace of the shot is not all arm, so it's a lot of times the uncoiling of the shoulders. Here he comes in, uncoils, and he kind of just tucks that arm in a little bit, allows him to really get good the upper body kind of rotating through the shot. When you drop this arm down, it kind of locks you up a little bit. You do get the rotation there, but it kind of stops there. You can see how your chest is pointing where? Really towards your opponent. You watch Roger, comes through, his chest eventually, right there, is really pointing this way. So modern forehand, the chest is at the beginning of the stroke, the backswing and the beginning of the stroke pointing this way. And all of a sudden, at the end of the stroke, it's going to be pointing virtually that way. Yours starts off the right way, right? You come through. Obviously, you're pointing your chest right now, pointing right there. But it stops here. And it's pointing to your opponent. Now, another thing, so I think keeping this arm up a little bit higher, the non-playing hand, and your left hand here, keeping it up and out here a little longer, and then just tucking it as opposed to putting it down this way. If you just sort of like bend it, it allows, you can see Roger here, it allows him to kind of, he tucks it behind him. It allows that kind of uncoiling. Number two, you catch your racket on the follow through, which is okay. But to catch that right there, I think it could be blocking your chest a little bit and not allowing you to get that, full rotation right there with the chest. So I think, when you catch the racket like that, you're going to start decelerating right now, decelerate, slow down, because you're going to catch it because you're catching it. So it decelerates a bit. He lets it go kind of just really just loose, and it goes right around him and past his arm. And we'll watch the beginning here. A lot of little steps like you are. He's got that nice hand, way out here, which you do also. And he starts to swing and then just sort of tucks it in. And you can see here how the chest is obviously going, pointing this way right now. And where does it end up? Ends up really pointing that way. And that's how we get some power from our forehand. Start well here, get the arm out, but it just drops too quick. It drops here too quick, and it's all arm, and then you decelerate to catch it. And the chest goes facing still your opponent. So there's one other thing, but we want to work on two things at once. It's like ski racing. We can't work on too many things. So those are two things to think about. See if you like it. Try to, your left hand on the forehand, not drop it to your side. Keep it out as long as you can. As you start to swing, kind of coil it up, bend it up, and maybe not try to catch the racket. Maybe that's causing you to not have a full unwind of the upper body. See what that's like. Play around with it. If you like it, that's great. But let me know how these are going, and we're going to hold off on one other thing because there's only so many things we can do at once. But great job, Sydney. You're really getting good.